The Charleston Naval Hospital Historic District is a section of the Charleston Navy facility that is comprised of a collection of structures that are associated with the medical requirements of the Navy facility. On November 2, 1902, the Bureau of Medicine and Surgery purchased 96.5 acres of land that was owned by the city of Charleston, South Carolina. This land was located on the neighborhood that was adjacent to the Navy Yard on the northwest side. The size was reduced to 43.14 acres as a result of subsequent transfers to the Navy Yard. According to the statistics kept by the hospital as of November 1, 1949, the total amount of acres. Hospital tents were used for activities related to the medical department when the Navy Yard was established in 1902. These tents were located close to the location of the Marine Corps Post Exchange. That same location saw the construction of a Marine sick quarters in the year 1905. During this time period, the medical officer of the yard maintained an office in the building that houses the post office in Charleston. He or she travelled to the yard on a daily basis by use of a streetcar. In the year 1905, a space within one of the buildings that were already present at the yard was designated for the purpose of serving as a medical dispensary. It was not until December 1908 that a yard dispensary was finished by yard workers. This was due to the fact that Congress had allotted $12,000 for the construction of a yard dispensary on June 26, 1906. However, no bids from outside contractors were received. This structure was constructed out of wood and was placed on brick piers close to the middle of the Navy Yard. Later on, a basement was constructed, which served as both a dispensary and a small hospital. The majority of the patients who were treated there were housed in tents. The structure has undergone numerous expansions ever since it was first constructed. By 1917, the West Wing had been constructed. This 28-bed dispensary, even with the addition of new buildings, was taxed beyond its capacity and was completely inadequate to meet the hospital needs of the naval base and the increased personnel caused by the establishment of the training camp to the capacity of 5,000 men. At the beginning of World War I, this dispensary was taxed beyond its capacity. In conjunction with the naval dispensary, emergency facilities in the form of tents and temporary beds were set up until the whole capacity of the facility was reached, which was 120 patients. This was a short-term solution to the problem that arose as a result of an unexpected increase in the number of men who were unable to find lodgings for those who were ill. The Charleston Engineering and Constructing Company was awarded the contract to construct the hospital, and the contract was signed. The hospital was commissioned on July 31, 1917, despite the fact that there were many difficulties experienced in recruiting sufficient labour and a minor strike among the carpenters. Work began on June 1, 1917, and the hospital was commissioned on July 31, 1917. The hospital was the first naval hospital to be constructed on the land that consisted of the medical department property, which was acquired in the year 1902. 25 temporary wooden buildings made up the hospital, which had a total capacity of 250 beds. There was one administration building, one office building, one building for female nurses, 9 ward buildings, one galley, a mess hall, a garage, a washroom, a powerhouse, a storage house, and a recreation hall among these buildings. Due to the growing patient load, there was an urgent need for extra beds. By September 1918, 14 additional buildings were completed, which expanded the bed capacity to a total of 1,000 beds. All of these structures were one-story. These supplementary structures were constructed out of wood and covered with stucco. They were situated to the south of the hospital reservation. In order to transport the ailing patients, the hospital took advantage of an ambulance. In the 1930s, the emergency hospital buildings that had been constructed in 1917 were either relocated or demolished. The only buildings that remained standing were the rooms of the commanding officer and executive officer at the time, as well as Building 21, which was the old medical storehouse, and the old meal hall that had been used by the original hospital. During the year 1975, these 4 structures were still existing and were being utilised. During World War I, the rooms 5, 6 and 7 that were once utilised as medical officers' quarters and were situated at the west gate entrance on the land of the hospital were utilised as a sick bay for the recruit camp. Work on the construction of 2 more wards with a capacity of 60 patients was initiated on June 17, 1940, through the beginning of construction. The completion of these wards occurred on October 4, 1940. As a result, the hospital had a total capacity of 117 beds, which was still insufficient for the number of patients that were being treated at that time. From the Works Progress Administration, funds of around $1 million were received in September of 1940 for the purpose of constructing a hospital with a capacity of 200 available beds. The groundbreaking ceremony for the new Charleston Naval Hospital took place on February 14, 1970. This event formally marked the commencement of the construction of the hospital, which would be a contemporary edifice with 500 beds and would replace the hospital services that were located in the outdated quarters on the Charleston Naval Base. The Naval Hospital, which was located at the Navy shipyard, continued to be utilized until the dedication of the Naval Regional Medical Center on March 2, 1973. This facility is situated near the intersection of Rivers and McMillan Avenues in North Charleston, South Carolina. The new hospital was a 10-story structure with a capacity of 500 beds and a floor size of 375,000 square feet. The building was equipped with a central heating and air conditioning system, a central dictating and transcription system, a central oxygen and vacuum system, televisions in the patients' rooms, and vertical transport systems. There were 2 intensive care units, 7 surgery rooms, 3 birth rooms, and a cardiac care unit included in the facility. All of these rooms were equipped with life support equipment. About 73,000 patients who were eligible for treatment were treated at the new Naval Hospital. This brand new Naval Hospital, which had a capacity of 500 beds and was finished and occupied in March of 1973, had a price tag that over $18.5 million. Beginning on July 1, 1972, the Naval Regional Medical Center in Charleston was founded with the purpose of enhancing the quality of treatment provided to patients by maximizing the utilization of resources, especially their medical professionals. The Naval Regional Medical Center is in charge of commanding and coordinating the many medical facilities and programs that are located inside the Navy and are accessible to the towns of Charleston and Beaufort. In addition to the primary hospital, the command also comprised branch clinics at the Naval Station, the Naval Shipyard, the Naval Weapons Station, and the Naval Hospital Beaufort. Additionally, branch clinics were located at the Marine Corps Air Station and the Marine Corps Recruit Depot on Parris Island. As well as serving as the District Medical Officer for the 6th Naval District, the commanding officer of the Naval Regional Medical Center also held this position.